It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Rubbin Minds. Welcome. My name is Ebuka Obuchi, and glad to be here with you once again. Starting off the show on a very sad note, something that has become sort of a pattern in the last couple of weeks now. Waking up today again to another set of bombings in Yobe State. Boko Haram continues to unleash terror in the northeastern part of Nigeria. Lots of Nigerians continue to be killed on a daily basis as it is right now. And we know that Mr. President is doing a lot in his power to make sure that this comes to an end, but it seems to be getting worse by the day. So as much as we want long-term solutions, which I'm sure is what he's looking for with all of his collaborations internationally, it would be nice to see that something on the short term is being done to make sure that Nigerians stop losing their lives. It has gotten to a point where people don't even know what to do anymore. It's pretty disheartening, and I mean, nothing compares to the loss of lives. And if that continues to happen, it's almost, I must say, a failure on the part of government to do anything else, because security of life is what they have sworn to do as our leaders, and it should be paramount on their agenda, whatever it is. I know that this present government is still young in power, and they have a lot of plans for us in the next couple of years, or at least 4 years coming, but this pace of killings needs to stop, or at least be addressed, because it has gotten to a point where, I mean, Nigerians, there's really no hope anymore, and we need that to stop. It's been a very crazy week on that front with regards to security, but there's a lot more that's happened as well in the week that was with Mr. President being in the United States and having meetings with President Obama. We're hearing about the EFCC inviting spouses of several government officials and former government officials, and so many other things that's happened in the week. But I'm going to be talking here today with Boladale Adkoya to talk about all of this. Thanks for being here today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I want to start with the bombings and the security issues and all of that. It's become like, we sound like a broken record every time, but it's actually a fact, and it's a reality of what Nigeria is today. And it's the fact that it happens and we just go on. I don't know. It's why? What's really happening now? Why are we not making progress?
Thank you. I think I should say that the issue of Boko Haram continuous bombing perpetrated by the Boko Haram is a very saddening one. It has been on for a couple of years now, and I think most Nigerians are actually tired of. It's something we are used to, ironically, and is pathetic. Even our newspapers no longer report this bombing because that's actually become
a see it on page 7 or page 8, somewhere inside the paper.
Part and parcel of us, and it's really disheartening. I think, well, the last administration tried. I think they did a great job during the twilight of the last administration, and Boko Haram felt a heavy and devastating defeat. I think that was what prompted the leader to pledge allegiance to ISIS. And now I think they don't call themselves Boko Haram, they call themselves the West African Caliphate of ISIS. So we've seen a change in tactics. We've seen a change in mode of operation. By the present administration also, I believe they've been doing a lot of cleans up strategies, intelligence gathering, and the rest. But I think a lot needs to be done. A whole lot needs to be done. We should not. Governance is continuum. Yeah. So we believe that the strategy adopted by the last administration between the period of January to March should also be adopted now. Yeah. Then we saw a drastic reduction in these activities, and I see no reason why the President Muhammadu Buhari should not also look for a way to ensure that this strategy are put in place presently now.
I know like I said at the beginning, it's still a young administration, whether we like it or not, but there are certain things that we necessarily can't have a honeymoon period for. When it comes to loss of lives, let's talk about the security chiefs now who were recently appointed. I mean, shouldn't we be demanding already from them certain answers? I know they're still new on the job, but they're part of the military. They know how these things work. And they should, like I said, have certain short-term, I don't know, goals or benchmarks for themselves, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. We should start demanding. The fact that a person has made the chief of staff, or that doesn't mean the person has not been in the system. These people have been like the present chief of army staff also now. I think is in charge of the multinational joint task force. I don't know if he's the present chief of army staff. So, but I know it was appointed. However, I think such person is privileged to information about this. He knows about the operation, so it shouldn't be surprising, or it shouldn't be something he can't provide answers to presently. They said they are doing intelligence gathering, which is fine, which is quite alright. But however, you can't tell me you are doing intelligence gathering when thousands of people are still losing their lives, hundreds of people are still losing their lives every day. To them, it might sound like more of being strategic, but you can't tell that to the Aisha, to the Zainab. They are losing their families, losing their loved ones, losing their children. So I don't think intelligence gathering without concrete action, without notable action, I think is a waste of time.
Let's switch now to Mr. President's trip to the United States. And I know that security was one of the biggest reasons why he went on that trip, to discuss with President Obama on, possible collaborations and what can be done with America helping Nigeria to tackle the insurgency. And we had all of this talk about the Leahy Law, where we can't buy arms from America because our military is compromised with human rights abuses and all of that. Do you think there was any success recorded with security in that meeting?
Well, thank you, Buka. Thank you for asking this very, 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 very important question. I think I think it's a misconception for us to believe that the United States is going to help Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari going to United States, I think, is just more of a diplomatic, trying to work a diplomatic connection between Nigeria and the United States. Let's be frank with ourselves. The United States is not interested in the issue of Boko Haram. Everyone that knows the United States, you know that the strategy is more of an bureaucratic system. When the issue of Chibok girls came up, they were the first that raised the alarm. Obama addressed the media, his wife addressed the media, they promised heaven and earth, but they did nothing. Because
so they did offer to send.
They will only offer, but on what conditions? That is the most important thing. International community, when this international politics at play, nobody gives you anything free on the platter of gold. General Buhari, President Buhari attended a meeting in Washington. Part of those that attended the meeting on the part of the United States delegates were CEOs of oil companies. We are talking about security. You have CEOs
there were lots of things discussed.
Yes,
so, the economy was also part of it. It
shows that the United States is majorly focusing on the economic aspect, economic gain in Nigeria, not the security. And the way when the senator was raising the issue of human rights abuse, it's comical. It's really pathetic, because I'm surprised the United States can actually be talking about human rights abuse now. When you had the issue of Afghanistan, Iran, are you telling me that during the so-called military operations in those areas, there were no issues of human rights abuses? It is not bad. This is war. And when it comes to war, there are usually casualties. And funny enough, I've seen the video released by Amnesty International. Fine, I think it's pathetic on its own. It's devastating. However, it does not justify the fact that those people that were killed in those videos, they might not have gone through the normal process of law, but those justify that those people that were killed in those are not Boko Haram members. No, it wasn't just. They only shared that the only difference was that these people were not given fair hearing. That was not the national community.
Which is their right. Actually.
Which is their right. I agree. Let's be fair.
Yes.
It is their right. But the issue is this: how many people did the United States give a fair hearing to when it was in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and Iran? This is war, and when it comes to war, there are some things that has to. There are casualties. We understand that.
So you're saying nothing came out of that meeting, security-wise?
What I'm saying is this: the United States has never been interested in the issue of combat terrorism in Nigeria or even in Africa. Let's be frank with ourselves. They have not been, what they are concerned about is the economic gain from it.
There's a lot to gain economically from a stable Nigeria.
From a stable Nigeria, there's a lot to gain, but there's much more to gain from a Nigeria that is not stable.
How so?
Thank you. First, when you have a Nigeria that is not stable, Nigeria, for the past few years now, we'll be buying a lot of our allocation, a lot of our budget allocation has been going into buying weapons. So and there are countries that constantly supply this weapon. Initially, we were buying from United States. Later, now we switch to Russia. That is one. The secondly, also, when a country is not stable, is not stable, the issue of resource control now can be negotiated to help that country. Now, when the United States is telling you, I want to help you, I would give you arms, I will give you this, I will give you the jet fighters and the rest. On what conditions? It is based, it now all draws back to the economic gain. So it is not based on humanitarian approach. It's not based on trying to be a brotherly or looking after a brother-sister relationship. It has never been so. And it is not so. We will be found to say we are only fooling ourselves. We believe that United States is going to give us something in the platter of food. It's not going to work.
Let's talk about Mr. President's team now, because a lot of people were not sure why he went with governors, you know. I mean, fair enough, we don't have a cabinet yet, so he couldn't have gone with ministers. But a few permanent secretaries are here, were also on that trip. And we saw a lot of pictures of him, you know, meeting with President Obama. I mean, on President Obama's side, they were, you know, his chief of staff, you know, his national security advisor. But on Mr. President's side, you had a lot of the state governors who necessarily do not affect federal policy in Nigeria. Looking at the team that went with him, we're talking about the economy now. We're talking about anti-corruption and all of that. Did we go with the right team? Do you think we would have gotten enough back from what we went with?
It really depends more on the focus of on the agenda, really. For Mr. President to have gone with the governors, you know, presently now is someone that is still trying to get his house in order. He doesn't know who to trust or who not to trust. He's being very suspicious, and he's trying to ensure that he has people of integrity around him. But the governors, unfortunately, also the governors that he has taken us are not people that we can actually vouch for us that are men and women of integrity. So on that aspect, I don't think the governors actually have any views in that meeting. I don't think they should be there. I think fine, the security chiefs or people intelligent, the NSA should be there. I believe also that governors or probably leaders of these communities that are affected should also be there, because at least they should know, they will actually feel it. And the security chiefs also should be there. So majorly, I see no reason why this. Aside they're talking about the economy aspect of it, fine. It might probably being a state like a Cross River State where we have the issue of Tinapa and the rest there. So probably we are looking at investments and tourism. You can be like Lagos State also, where we are looking at the issue of the economic capital of Africa, maybe of Nigeria at least. So those states have reasons to be there if it's based on the economy aspect. But when it comes to Boko Haram insurgency or when it comes to terrorism, I don't see any reason why they should be there. I think most of them went there to have fun and they are back home, and I believe that they should go back to the states.